protesters picketing screenings of The Lady of Heaven, ensuring it is one of the most talked about films out now.
When someone openly expresses their views against, let's say, gay people, then it's homophobia. But when it comes to Muslims, it's freedom of speech, and Muslims are really fed up.
The British-made undertaking has proven provocative from those who believe it's stoking up sectarian division, a Shia filmmaker's controversial take on early Sunni Muslim leaders.
We haven't done anything actually wrong here. It's just about how people want to interpret history. To be honest, first and foremost in the hands of each individual to act responsibly and welcome different views.
The recently released film, The Lady of Heaven, has incited sectarian tension amongst Muslims for its offensive depiction of early Muslim history. We strongly and without reservation condemn its writer Yasir al-Habib for this contemptible action, which has led to escalating sectarian tensions at a time when Muslim unity is most needed.
In summary, what has developed in recent weeks is that some Shia producers produced a movie called The Lady from Heaven. It's a historical depiction of the events leading up to the death of the daughter of the Prophet, alayhi salatu wassalamu ala alihi. And this is an event that took place after the death, the passing of the Prophet, a few months after the passing of the Prophet, during which there was some bad vibes between the daughter of the Prophet and those who were then appointed to lead the Muslim state of Medina and of course all the surrounding areas under Muslim rule. And this event takes place, the movie depicts an incident at the home of Fatima, the daughter of the Prophet, where Umar the Great, called Umar the Great, Umar al-Faruq, where he exercises some force and some coercion which leads to the death of the granddaughter of the Prophet. And so that is, and of course this movie is going to be offensive to those who hold Umar Faruq as one of the great Salaf, and so those and the Sahabi, of course the Sunni Muslims who do venerate the Sahaba, venerate the four Caliphs, they will take umbrage, they will take offense at this movie. Because Sunni Muslims really take serious offense when you insult the Sahaba. You can insult Muslims, you can kill them, you can murder them, you can take their lands, you can desecrate millions of Muslims, then the Muslims don't take offense. But when you offend a Sahabi, now then they go to war. So they don't really care about life or justice, they care about the Sahabi, which is for me a very strange way of thinking about justice and righteousness. You should be defending the rights of any person, not just of a person who died 1400 years ago. So, like, here's an idea for you British Muslims who want to rise up and demonstrate. Why don't you, do yourself a favor and demonstrate to prevent extradition of Julian Assange. You know what this guy did was he did such a great favor to the Muslim world. He exposed the crimes of your enemy in Iraq. He exposed the crimes of your enemy within Muslim lands. And I don't see one guy with a long beard and a kurta in support of him. So you know what? I see this as extremely hypocritical. You see, if people are armed with knowledge and understanding, and if they act based on their rational minds and on what is factual historically and what can be proven, then this would be a non-issue. You see, if we go on hadiths as stories and myths, then we will have plenty of opportunity for us to go to war, because you will have your hadiths and I will have my stories, and our myths and your myths will clash, and we will hate your gods and you will hate our gods. Your gods are Sahabis and our gods are the Imams, and we will be at war because we hate each other's gods. We insult each other's gods, false gods. And so hadiths, the stories, the tales, the fairy tales and so on, these are really the stories that are the crux of the problem. Muslims do not operate on rational thinking and on the sound mind and what can be established from history based on empirical evidence. They don't act on that. They only act on the myths and then their emotions. And so the problem is not that this movie was shown. If you show a movie of the flat earth society, where they are trying to promote the flat earth, would you feel offended? No, because it's bogus. So we don't feel offense because we are intellectually, we feel comfortable with the earth being round. And if somebody shows you a flat earth story, you just look at it and find it amusing. But Muslims, you see, because they are not acting on knowledge and on evidence and on the Holy Quran. They act on emotions and on mythology and on what the priests have drummed into them over the centuries. And so if you touch those pious, holy areas, then they go berserk. And that's the problem. That is the real problem we have here, my brothers and sisters. You see, it's not that these guys are standing here showing, their sense of solidarity. They are the cause of the problem. These guys are all the cause of the problem. Why? It's because they are promoting their mythologies. They are promoting their fake nonsense historical stories, because they haven't taught their people how to think. And so the circus will continue. The Shia-Sunni circus will continue. It's a modern or an updated form of tribalism. It's just two big tribes, you see, actually one big tribe and one smaller tribe, well funded. You see, that is the big key here, is that both of these tribes are multi-billion-dollar industries. Believe me, both of these tribes are multi-billion-dollar industries. The one on the Sunni side, the Sunni tribe, has got the support of all the great Saudis and the Gulf Arabs and the billionaires in the Gulf, all the wealth of the common people who pay for halal certification, and the Hajj, that is a money spinner also. So that is the Sunni tribe. And in their own countries, like as is the case in my country, those who appoint themselves at the helm of this religious group, this tribe, do make money out of then the paraphernalia and the selling the gadgets and the gizmos and entrance requirements to becoming a member of the club. And that is the billions and billions of dollars that are generated. On the Shia side, of course, they're running a scam with the khums. The guys with the black headgear, with the black rolls on their heads. Nobody can verify whether they are really descendants of the Prophet. They're running a huge scam, and they're running a scam with the khums. And this is the scam. It amounts to billions of rands. You think this guy Sistani is a poor guy? No, his operations, his infrastructure, his outfit is worth billions. So what we have here is two tribes, both promoting a fictitious version of history, and both feverishly and selfishly and violently prepared to defend their turf. Now, I'm not referring to the general run-of-the-mill, everyday, ignorant Muslim follower of these guys. No, the ignorant guy is an innocent pawn. He's like the soldier in the American army that gets sent or that runs off to Ukraine to fight for the West. They're just pawns. They are just duped. They are fools. They are fooled and conned by the big boys. And so in the Muslim world, these two big tribes will continue to control your thinking until the day you realize that you need to shake them off you and go for what is real and what is true. I've spent many years trying to get to the bottom of the Shia-Sunni difference, and my brothers and sisters, those many years are years of my life that I've wasted. Honestly, it's years of my life that I've wasted. I've spent tens of thousands of rands on books, probably in today's money, 100,000, tens of thousands of dollars. And I have scrutinized and I've tried to see the differences. And my brothers and sisters, I can tell you now that this is two tribes. They are each getting rich out of their version of history. And the real Shia are the Shia that lived before the Safavid Empire, are the Shia that defended justice and rationalism in the Muslim world. The real Ahli Sunnah are those people, and Ahli Sunnah wal Jama'at are the people who wanted to forge solidarity between Muslims globally as a one body. The real Ahli Sunnah wal Jama'at are those people who follow the Sunnah of Allah, which is the natural disposition of man. But these two tribes, I've got no business with them. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.